Gail of Gaia and co-host Paul Bina have a long chat with Jasonq about a number of subjects concerning current events in the United States and around the world. This show with Jasonq is already up on Gail's website at www.gailofgaia.com. Here is a short clip of one of the items they were talking about.
Is that parallel to anything that's going on at this time? Because we've already talked about 10 days of darkness.
You get
now,
well.
too.
You have the because right now, and I think you've seen that same calendar as well. Somebody brilliant on Facebook put it up and said that tomorrow. Is that correct? What's tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big day because tomorrow's when the Mickey Mouse clock comes due. Because remember that's 2:10, right? I'm like, holy shit! I never thought of that. I'm like, that's brilliant. Then you have the 11th, where you have the blackout. Then the 12th is Lincoln's birthday. Well, who's Lincoln right now? It's President Trump. We're actually in the middle of another civil war. But remember, during the first Civil War, we had two presidents. You had Jefferson Davis in the Confederate States, and then you had Abraham Lincoln in the Union, North. All they did was flip sides. Trump went south, Biden went north. But Trump was still the president. Now, they left those gallows. They're gallows. Hey, outside the White House. Across the street from
I
it.
didn't know if they were gallows or they were holding cells or what. But
they're gallows,
they are gallows
because what they are is those are at Fort McNair during the Civil War when they hung Mary E. Surratt and three other men for conspiring to murder Abraham Lincoln. Problem is that they killed John Wilkes Booth 10 weeks before. They were denied their due process through our Constitution. They were sent right to a military tribunal because they were only in on the kidnap plot. They didn't know that he was going to get shot. That wasn't part of the plan. And that's the problem.
That's interesting.
It was just a kidnapping. That's it. And they tried to tell these people, it's like, look, it was just a kidnap plot. And the military tribunal said, nope, they denied it all. That's why the whole banter between Kavanaugh and Lindsey Graham was so key, because they actually laid out the whole plan of when civilians can actually get tried by a military tribunal, because they fucked up once during the Civil War. We can't do it again, because we have to rectify everything we do wrong. We have to make our wrongs right. We have to learn from our mistakes. So that's why we're learning from our mistake, and we're making it so that, because the courts back then were good. They weren't defunct, because
they sure aren't now.
Well, yeah, exactly, but it was still before the whole the little 1871, the little act of 1871 when it went federal and all that shit.
Yeah, and everything's a corporation. Every courtroom, every jail, they're all corporations. Even the attorneys. And the title of nobility thing has got to go too. And
I think that's why when they say who's buried at Grant's tomb, it's nobody. Because they're interred above ground. They're not buried. They're interred above ground. They didn't even give them the satisfaction of putting them into American ground, because he was the one that actually tossed out the one Constitution and then substituted the other one. That's why they did that.
Oh, wow.
Maybe not, but I mean, good enough, good enough reason to think so, because I mean, why else would you just, inter guy and his wife and, above ground?
Wow.
So, but, because she was the first woman to ever be executed by the federal government. And I mean, when they did it, all four hangings at once. And I mean, they were just barbaric during it. They left them hanging there for 20 minutes. Everything. I mean, it was brutal.
Hanging is really gross.
Well,
it really is.
It's gross, but if the punishment does fit the crime, and hanging is under, if you committed high treason and crimes of sedition and everything against us, then yes. Then whatever it says in the Constitution,
Yeah, they've done some pretty
execution
heinous
is
crimes
open.
against the citizens of this country.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. These people need to, they're going to pay, and that's why today everybody's all up in arms about. Oh yeah, the Senate. They voted. 56-44 that Trump was getting impeached. I'm like, holy fuck. Okay, guys. I'm like,
impeached for what?
I'm like, number one, you should already. This is why they don't teach civics. Okay, number one, you cannot impeach a civilian. So that means that he's still president, right? So that's one. Number two, when you look at the numbers, the 56 and 44, that gives you a date. It's 11/8, right?
56, yeah.
Yeah. When was he first elected as president? On November 8th. It was the same date as his first election. And who won it? He did. Landslide.
Yeah.
They cheated and everything. Now look, now you have all the same people. They're trying to cheat him again. It's like, now they want everybody to see it. Because now you've got Myanmar, their country went under military control over their voting. So that's like a tip to us. It's like, do you guys see what's going on over there? I see what's over here. Do you think that they would actually put a wall around DC and put the razor wire on the inside if they didn't build the prison around them? Like we said, first mass arrest was going to be Congress. It's exactly what they did. They arrested all of Congress. And the funny thing is that they told all the media on Friday, January 29th at 6 p.m. that this happened. All the overseas media and all the media here. They said,
and 100% censored.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, it's like in the Netherlands, and there were a couple places that let it out. But
were there really?
Nothing. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was censored worldwide.
It did slip out in a couple of spots.
Oh, that's good to know, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that also shows that they're guilty.
Exactly.
Guilty.
It shows how massive this octopus really is. Because when they talk about the military industrial complex, it's not that. You're missing a part. It's the military industrial extraterrestrial complex.
Planetary complex.
I mean, this is when you start putting the extraterrestrial in there, that's when it gets wicked.